Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video on my channel. If you follow my channel, then you might have seen a few months ago where a feeder fish had survived longer than usual in my Bullfrog Lucille's paludarium. And just as I was starting to like this fish and even gave it a name, Lucille finally went ahead and ate it. But I was really enjoying having something else that could live in the paludarium and share some of that space with Lucille. So I decided to try some mystery snails. I've had these snails for a couple of months now, and I thought it would be a good time to share with you what it's been like to keep them. I think most people's first thought would be that it must be pretty boring to take care of or spend time watching a snail. But I've been really surprised at how fun and interesting these snails have been. They're a lot more active than you might expect, and they actually have a lot of personality. Mystery snails come in a range of colors, and the three that I got are white, black, and gold. They eat algae and dead or decaying plant matter, so I figured they'd be good to help keep the paludarium clean. As they move around their environment, their mouths are always moving and munching on whatever algae or dead plant matter that they come across. Lucille often kicks pieces of moss and substrate into his water, and they eat that up. They seem to almost never stop moving, either gliding across the glass or over the rocks and floor of the tank. They have two different sets of antennas. The longer pair is used for finding their way around in their environment, and the shorter pair is used for finding and identifying food. And mystery snails can live in both water and land because they have a respiratory system that allows them to be amphibians. Unlike most aquatic snails that only have gills, mystery snails have both gills and lungs. And they have this strange snorkel-like tube that's part of their body that they use to breathe air with. This is one of the bizarre behaviors that you can see mystery snails do periodically. They'll climb to just below the surface of the water and push that snorkel up to the surface to get air. Then, after getting the air they want, they release themselves to float back down to the bottom. And they can actually use that tube to control their buoyancy. And by taking in more air or more water, they can either float at the surface of the water or they can parachute back down to the bottom. Most common snails are hermaphrodites, meaning they have both female and male reproductive organs. But mystery snails aren't hermaphrodites, so you still need a male or a female mystery snail for them to breed. Mystery snails rarely fight. They have peaceful temperaments. So when I see them getting together like this, it's fairly obvious what they're doing. I've seen the gold one mounting both the black one and the white one. So I'm assuming the gold one is a male and the other two are females. And while I've seen this mating behavior, I haven't seen any eggs or babies yet. I'm new to keeping mystery snails, so there's still things that I'm learning about them. And here is a strange behavior that I was able to catch, and I'm not sure what's going on here. This one went to the surface of the water, but instead of using its snorkel, it flattened out part of its foot on the surface of the water and put it into the shape of a funnel. Then it did something strange. I'm used to seeing frogs shed their skin and eat it, and it almost looked like that's what he's doing. but it also looks like it might be slurping up something that it excreted from its body. I wondered too if this might have something to do with fertilizing eggs. So if any of you know what this is, I'd like to know. Just leave me a comment below if that's something that you've seen before or know about. From the research I've done, I know that a bullfrog can eat and completely digest a snail, including its shells. But so far, Lucille has seemed completely uninterested in them, and hopefully he'll stay that way. Although mystery snails are inexpensive to buy, I bought these at the pet store for about $3 a piece. One drawback for me is that they have a very short lifespan, usually about 1 year if kept in ideal conditions. And I usually don't like keeping animals that have short lifespans. That's something I've always been torn about with keeping mantises and jumping spiders. But after having these snails for a few months now, my first impression is I love them. The best way for me to describe them is that they're bizarre and beautiful at the same time. If you look at their bodies and faces up close, they look like some strange alien sea creature. And yet they have a gracefulness about them. I love the way their antennas sway in the water as they move from one place to another. So if you keep fish or if you keep any animals in a paludarium, you might really enjoy adding some mystery snails. So that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed meeting Lucille's new friends, and I appreciated you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.